here with Riley Dexter. It's his second race of this season. Go on, say it.
Thank you for watching, everybody.
Thank you for watching, everybody. Well done, mate. Good luck for the race. And Dad, how are you feeling?
Nervous. It's a bit raining, but we'll see what happens.
Good luck, mate.
Thank you.
It looks as though he's already had the PR training because he's well versed to his interviewing. So 5 for this one. Under starters orders. Parents a little bit nervous, I suspect, and the lads are away. Green flag, and we're racing. Oh, trouble getting it off the line. Into turn 1, and we've got a great start for someone, and it looks as though we're going to have a battle over second place. 3 bikes into turn 2. Pick your line. Try to get round it, young men. So we've got a great start, and I think that's Chase Collymore that's made the whole shot and has already pulled into what would be a handsome lead if it was in any other class. But these young tigers will be along shortly, I'm sure, to push him to the finish. Onto the back straight, wide open. It's a long, long way, that back straight, I think, on these bikes. Great styling through the S's, and then on the brakes into hairpin 1. I call it hairpin 1 because this circuit is the circuit I'm familiar with from my karting days. Hairpin 2 into the bus stop. And into the big bend, South Bank bend. Which looks a lot of fun. And we're looking at bike, I think that's 76, Dylan Jones. Indeed it is. Dylan Jones coming through to start his second lap. The bus stop comes into play now. And we're looking for our race leader, which is indeed Chase Collymore. He's got a 4-second lead over Dylan Jones. Riley Dexter is running in 3rd. It's a family affair. We've got a pair of Collymores here. Nathan Ellis Ward, I think, was the rider who's struggling to get that bike off the grid there.
Yeah, and Chase Collymore checked out at the front, hasn't he, really? We had Riley Dexter, we had a chat with him on the grid. That's his only second race ever. So he's sat in 3rd place at the moment. These are the little 9cc semi-automatic, so these races are starting at 6 years of age. And so 6-year-old little lads running around these pit bikes, it's great to see, and this is a good starting point if you want your little one to really start a racing career, really.
So talk to me about this semi-automatic gearbox. Is there a clutch being used here, or is that just off the line to hold it on the
No, you just you put it in first and then they just rev it. Basically, the idea of this is it takes the complication of using the clutch, so the guys can still work with the gears, but with this it also brings in engine braking. You'll see Chase coming down the hill now, and he'll off onto the brakes, and you see him clicking down to 3rd and using that engine braking to slow the bike down as well as the brakes. And so they have to learn that technique even at 6-7 years of age, which is great.
Yeah, the thought is on a bike that it's all about the front brake and a bit of back brake, but the back brake is hardly getting any use at all.
No, not at all. No, very little people use the rear brake. Some will say, or some will have a thumb brake on the handlebars, but the power which you get from the rear brake is very, very limited. So vast majority of our riders will just be using the front brake. So you'll see Chase coming down now, be absolutely flat through the S's, and you see him kick down, using that engine braking, getting the body position in place, looking through the apex. Really good technique there, Chase. Well done, mate.
He's got
fantastic.
the stare.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. Really, really good technique. You see him get his weight right off the bike there.
Too fast for our cameraman.
Yeah, if we pan back to Riley Dexter, Riley actually uses the traditional supermoto style.
So Riley Dexter on bike 860. Is there anything significant about these numbers? Are they picking their own numbers?
Yeah, they pick their own. So if you look at Riley now, he's using the traditional Supermoto style. I think the reason for this, he does quite a bit of motocross on a pit bike as well. So you can see him, he's keeping his body weight nice and central and using that lean angle to get around the corner and trying to keep it as stable as possible. So it depends on how, even at this early stage, what they feel comfortable with doing.
Yeah.
And Riley's dad, Jay, he makes those leathers that Riley's at the moment, and he's very, very kindly given 3 sets of custom-made leathers to the winners from the season for the Bambino class, which are running now, the Mini GPs and the Junior Supermoto 140. So the winner out of those classes will get a brand spanking new of custom-made leathers, which I think is very, very generous.
Which it is, and they're not cheap, are they? Certainly
No.
custom made.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, very good quality, and I know the ones that Jay are selling now, they're all over the place. So yeah, but yeah, if you listen, Jay, thank you very much for your generosity.
Chase Collymore 8 seconds clear of Dylan Jones. Riley Dexter is a further 16 seconds behind. Theo Collymore is 30 seconds off the lead. Actually, no, it's near a minute off the lead now. And Nathan Ellis Ward, having had his bike not get off the line, is now actually starting to close up to Theo. And support there for the Dexter.
Thanks for your comment, Gina. Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic to see these little lads flying around on these pit bikes. And this is the first time this year where they've actually used the full circuit. Usually they use the short circuit, the traditional kart circuit, so they don't come down. They don't do this full straight and don't come down and over the mountain. They just use the loop just as they come past that chicane off the start and finish straight and go around. So it's nice for the kids to be able to go and do the full track the same as the adults do.
What these young lads and ladies need is more competition. Is this a class that you're trying to push to make?
Absolutely, I think so. Yeah, definitely. Because as I said, this is just the start now, and that's because they start at 6 years of age, and perhaps the other junior classes start at around like 13. Well, probably about 10 years of age.
Yeah.
And so earlier than 10 years of age, the children may not be as confident to get on a motorbike. But we just use this class and make sure we give them the time, because we give the kids the opportunity to do this.
So coming through the shot there is bike number 8, Theo Collymore. 73 seconds off the lead. Nathan Ellis Ward is coming through on bike 08. And I think, was that a change for position there? Has Nathan closed it? All right, so Chase Collymore is actually lapping the field now. I think this is a young man that's quite at home here in these conditions.
We've got lots of comments coming through now on Facebook, so if you've got any questions, if you've got any comments on what's happening on the screen, make sure you send them through and we'll try and answer any questions you've got. And obviously, lots of messages of support, which the kids always want.
So we're fairly deep into this one now, probably 4 laps from the finish, maybe it's 3.5. There's Theo Collymore once again, learning the trade.
Absolutely, yeah. This is all about learning in a safe, controlled manner. And as I said, these bikes, they're all stock. They're all the same bike. So, you know, the fast kids and the slow kids, they're all on the same bikes. It all comes down to riding technique and learning that racecraft.
Okay. Chase Collymore.
That's Theo. And so it's still spitting, so they'll be getting a few spots of rain on the visor.
That's got to be a bit concerning, isn't it? Not so much for the young people, but perhaps for the odd parent.
Yeah.
I'm suspecting we might have the odd mum and dad watching sort of thing. Mothers, I found when I used to race go-karts, used to get very, very nervous. Dads, on the other hand, were always busy thinking what it's going to cost it and how difficult is it going to be to tighten and spanner and fix it.
Yeah, well, that's why we try and bring these bikes. So we don't sell bikes, but these are £795. That's it out the crate. So your little lad or lady can go racing for a very, very little amount of money. And we have traders on the site for tyres and race support if you need it. So yeah, so we try and make it as cost effective and as accessible as possible, as we discussed earlier.
Well, accessibility is the name of the game, isn't it? Now Chase is having a look at his bike here.
Yeah, it looks like he may have an issue.
Now, can he keep it going to the finish? Dylan Jones is 16.5 seconds behind, so he's got time to play with. But he seems to have picked up his pace again. He doesn't look entirely comfortable on the bike. I wonder if his seat's entirely where it should be. It's hard to tell.
I think he's looking at his dad, looking for some bit of support, because all the parents will be out on track as well. All the parents will be out there in high vises, making sure their little lads. Oh, it's exhaust. His exhaust has come off.
I think he's. Yeah, I think you might be right, Matt. He's looking down. Something is not quite right. He needs to keep his eyes on the road, of course. We're 2 laps from the finish now, so I think he can get this to the finish. He's certainly got enough engine and power left in that bike. His lead is coming down, but it's still the thick end of 15 seconds to Dylan Jones in second place on bike 76. Riley Dexter continues to circulate 44 seconds off the leader on bike 860. Theo Collymore is now a lap down, as is Nathan Ellis Ward in 5th place. So can Chase Collymore manage this bike to the finish? I think he's gonna make it. The gap might be coming down, but
he's definitely losing a lot of time. Hopefully the marshals have seen that. He'll be losing power because the back pressure of the exhaust there.
Yeah. Well, there's at least one bolt holding on that exhaust. So closing stages of this first junior SM90 race here at round 2 of the 2017 British Minibike Championship. We're looking back for second place. We don't want to make it too hard for him, but it looks as though Dylan Jones is now closing a little bit faster.
Yeah, he's definitely closing up now. Yeah. Start Dylan. He struggled to get off the line, but he's definitely closing up. Oh,
and the checkered flag is out. The checkered flag is out, and our race winner is Chase Collymore. A little bit of a scare there, but he's got the bike to the finish, carrying an umbrella. And I think, have you given up, Matt? Is it beating you? Has the weather beaten you at last?
It's absolutely slinging it now. I'm soaked.
I'm laughing and Luke's smiling because we've been in the dry all afternoon.
Yeah. This high-vis obviously isn't waterproof enough.
It's not, no. Right, we're getting ready. We are getting ready for... it's definitely not pit bike stock 160.
No, it's the Junior Bambino. This is the Bambino Supermoto 90. It's a good start there from Chase Collymore, straight away from the line. And these little bikes, because they're not very far to go. Hopefully we knee down in the wet. Oh no, nice intensive there.
They're not slowing down though. They're still going for it.
No, so this is a big track for these little bikes we're going around. And so they're going to be absolutely pretty much flat out all the way. But it's a good experience to them. It's at such a young age to be out in conditions like this. And I know Chase is pretty much going to check out like he did on the first race, but it's a good experience for him to race in these conditions and try and get some sort of setup. I mean, I know a lot of these bikes don't have adjustable suspension, so they're kind of reliant upon the tyres and maybe tyre pressures, and obviously the parents. And it's nice to see Chase's exhaust is attached for this race.
Yeah, no, the awful thing here is, Matt, you've mentioned it. You know, you wouldn't want it to happen again, or the mechanic will be getting fired.
No, yeah, the dad will be sacked. I weld mine. I weld my end can onto the link pipe just to try and stop that coming off. Look at him, knee down in the wet. Look at that.
Now, is that him banging it down a gear there?
Yeah, he'd be going down the box. That's confidence, that is. Knee down in the wet all the way through. Brilliant.
He's pressing on. He wants it to go faster.
Yes.
This bike's not fast enough.
Yeah. But these bikes, they're a great little stepping stone. A lot of people start the kids on mini motos. And for the little ones, they're fantastic. The really little ones, everyone starts a bit younger than the 6. But these bikes, they're, as you can see, they've got the same knee-down style other than little Riley, who's coming through down the mountain. And these little bikes really do teach them that racecraft at an early age.
I'm looking at Facebook here, Matt, and it looks as though the Riley Dexter fan club is back on again.
Absolutely.
Callum Charlesworth, and is that China? Welcome once again to Riley Dexter's run in this Bambino class. Dylan Jones is currently running in second place, 5 seconds behind Chase Collymore. Theo Collymore is running in third, 7.6 seconds off the lead. Riley Dexter is 4th. Nathan Ellis Ward running in 5th, but he's a braver man than I don't think I'd be out there, I've got to be honest.
Yeah, it is wet. Yeah, Dylan's older brother runs the Junior Supermoto 140 class as well. And again, another family event when they come racing.
Yeah, I never liked the rain myself. I was always known as a fair weather carter. So, and the thought of doing it on 2 wheels is... I'm impressed with these young...
Yeah, it just shows, they've got real confidence, and, it's seriously wet out there, and it shows they've got confidence in the bikes, and they're out there learning, which is the most important thing.
Well, weather racing is part of the game, isn't it? So you can't avoid it.
You look at Riley there, the bike's not squirring around, the bike's settled.
Look at the standing water now.
Yeah.
That is impressive.
I hope the marshal's got an umbrella.
Yeah. Riley, I think, might be closing in here on Dylan Jones. So Chase Collymore leading by 5.2 seconds, but the gap between second and third, as Riley has gone past Theo Collymore, is just 3 seconds. So bike 76, Dylan Jones, and 860, Riley Dexter. We might have a battle here for second place. I know it's only training, but these kids came to race.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, they all come here to race, 100%. I know we haven't got many the Bambinos on the grid this weekend, which is a shame, but all the kids 100% come here to race and have a good time. And they've all got that. Well, they all don't have that off switch.
Yeah.
I used to chase the
kids
front.
don't stop, do they?
Getting the knee down. It's all or nothing. The throttle's only got 2 positions, either on or off.
Well, he tips it into the bus stop, trying to avoid the curbs, which I think is wise. I don't think shortcutting over the painted lines will be too good.
We've got a comment here from Tina Jones. Come on, Dylan Jones. Oh, Riley's really catching up with him now. I think we've got a battle on our hands coming up.
I wonder if Riley knows he's there.
I think his dad will be on the pit lane, hopefully signaling to him, let him know that that is
hurry up.
That is in the cafe having a cup of tea, giving himself a try. You'd hope not.
Put a cardboard cutout out in the rain, go to the cafe and have a cup of tea. So downhill through turn 1. That's a tricky. I think that's getting more tricky as we go on.
Yeah,
here, that turn 1. It's just slightly off camber.
Yeah,
we saw Matthew Bolsover.
And there's a bump. There's a bump as you come through. There's a bit of uneven tarmac, and in the dry yesterday, the front ends were just all over the place going across that. So in the dry, you're flat out and forth going through that, and so in the wet, if they're hitting that uneven tarmac, it must be really quite unsettling the bike.
Well, we're just looking here. This might actually turn into a race for the lead here, because I've got an awful feeling that Chase is not quite as quick as he was from the start.
And there's Riley gone through into second place.
Young man on a mission. Now I think we might see Dylan here up his pace a little bit now that he realises that Riley can go a little bit quicker.
And that was down into the S's. That's a confident passing Riley there. And these little bikes will be absolutely topped out. The bottom of that straight.
Now, has Riley Dexter got eyes on winning this second race?
So this is his second race weekend ever. Yeah, he's never. This is his first season. This is his second race weekend ever. He came up to GYG, had a cracking weekend with his dad, and he's come out here. And I know the fact that Dylan Jones, he's been racing with us for a couple of seasons, and so it shows that the young lad's got a bright future, hopefully.
Well, it looks as though he's found his sport. And
he's definitely chasing Chase down.
Because he is after the leader here. The gap was just 3 seconds at the line there, and I think we might have a three-way dice for the lead. Our cameras are beginning to struggle with all this moisture. We've cut to the camera at the mountain section. Your race leader, bike number 7, is Chase Collymore. Second place is Riley Dexter. Well, he's not getting away from Dylan Jones. We've definitely got a three-way dice here.
Yeah, I think Dylan's upped his pace as Riley's gone past him.
Chase takes a look over his shoulder.
He knows they're coming, and so does Riley, just in case.
I'd almost say, can he hear them? But surely he can't. So I would think he'd be looking over from the exit of the hairpins earlier on, and has seen them coming forward. And it looks as though Riley Dexter is running him down.
Yeah, they'll definitely catch up on Chase now. It's going to turn it. We've got 4 laps to go. It's going to turn into a 3-way battle, I think, by the end of the next lap. That's a good line through that chicane.
He's really smooth, isn't he?
Yeah, it's a really good line through that chicane. And that's not easy. On just as you come out to that left-hand side of the chicane, you've actually got a bit of almost like a hole in the tarmac. And so going through there, it's not easy. I think Chase needs to start pushing on now because these two are going to have him soon.
Well, I'm just wondering how long we've got left.
He's got 3 laps to go. Is it? Oh no, we're on lap 5. We've got 3 laps to go. He's going to run
plenty
some
of
laps.
time, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he's going to chase him down, definitely.
The worst part, the danger here is you push too hard, trying to catch him quick. He's got to be counting those laps down, but he's closing in.
He looks like it. Look at that. He's under braking there.
And Dylan's not out of this one yet.
Looks like he's gapped him a little bit. This is coming. This lead's coming down corner by corner.
Yeah, it was 2.6 seconds the gap to the leader on the last lap, so he took at least half a second out of race leader Chase Collymore.
We have a comment saying, "Does mini bike racing come to Norfolk?" Unfortunately, not.
Red Lodge is not a million miles away.
We don't race at Red Lodge this season, unfortunately.
Ella Park?
No, we go to Wilton Mill, which is in Daventry, which isn't a million miles away. Probably about hour and a half, 2 hours from the east coast.
Yeah, just a run down the A14.
Yeah. So if you want to get involved, they do. If you have your own bike, they do mini bike test nights on a Tuesday evening at Wilton Mill, and obviously we're racing there next month in May, and we're racing again there later on in the year. So we've got at least 2.
Final round, isn't it? Wilton
Yeah,
Mill,
final
October.
round in October. That's right. You know the Colin better than I do.
Well, I've had a look through the website, and you might as well give a shout out to the website.
Yeah. Do I get an F for my homework, by the way, Dan?
Yeah. I'm not taking your job. British Mini Bike.
www.britishminibikes.co.uk.
And we have some other places you can find us. You've obviously found us on Facebook if you're watching the stream live. And so that's www.facebook.com/British Mini Bike Road Racing Championship, and of course the website britishminibikes.com.
.co.uk.
I don't know why I'm convinced you should be a .com.
Well, they're all British mini bikes in .co.uk.
Just put it into Google.
Yeah. If you put British mini bikes in Google, it will be at the top of the list. I can assure you there. It looks like Chase Collimore's had the signal to get his foot down, and or he's twisted his hand a bit hard. And his dad's like,
or has Dad come out the cafe?
Yeah, with his
he's watching where he's been watching the stream to stay out the rain. Get a move on, Chase.
Yeah. Don't let him catch you.
You know, the cameras really aren't doing the rain justice here. It is cats and dogs. You get a feel for it when the cameras have got water on the lens, but it's really hiding the rain. We're looking through it rather than as it really is.
Yeah, you're right, John Kingston. Thanks a lot for the comment. It is brilliant racing for the youngsters. Oh, and Dylan's having a look down the
I was
inside
going to
there.
say, I don't think Dylan's finished here.
No, he's definitely not.
One last push towards the finish, and he can have second place now that Chase appears to have been given the hurry up. Or is Riley Dexter just taking a breather before he makes a big push on the finish? Because we don't know whether or not off camera or out of shot that they've had a moment.
Possibly.
Yeah,
Possibly.
just one of those things where you think, right, okay, I found that limit. But the gap is now back out to 5.3 seconds, and Dylan has come back into this race with Riley Dexter, and he may yet challenge for second place. I think he's beginning to push now. We're just waiting to see into the mountain section. Oh, move for second.
That was fantastic.
That was well done.
Yeah, that was a good move. That was.
So
We
we're
were slip shooting down the straight, side by side. Look at that, absolutely flat out side by side.
stare him out, son. Stare him out.
Yeah.
Take a look at each other. Stare him out. Who's got the confidence into the S's?
That's Nathan Ennis Ward, one of the back markers. Again, that's his first season this year. Oh, it looks like Raj's gone through again. Oh, Mr. Gear.
Picking up the throttle. Dylan's going to have to work his way back again. Perhaps a little bit deep in the bus stop there.
And Dylan's got a fantastic technique when you see him kicking down the gear, because they have a paddle shift.
Yeah.
So they actually kick down as well as up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, his leg always sticks out when he changes gear.
Actually, look, there's a river across between those hairpins there of water. So this is going to be really tricky for the bigger classes later on, never mind the youngsters. The last lap board is out, and this time timing has not let us down.
And you can just see Dylan there coming to back market. He didn't go rushing past him. He bided his time, even though he's trying to keep up with Riley. That showed really good racecraft, even at this young age. Absolutely fantastic. That's it, giving loads of space down the bottom end. That's really good, Dylan.
So half a lap from the finish then for Chase Collymore. He's led from the beginning, pretty much. In fact, he led from the line, so this is going to be flag to flag. And I think he's going to hold on. He went a little bit wobbly mid-race and allowed Riley Dexter and Dylan Jones back into this one. But I think Riley's got his hands firmly on second place now. And Dylan Jones is going to come in third.
Straight
Look at
through
the
those
puddles.
Straight. The thing is, he kept it flat. He kept it absolutely pinned through that.
You didn't tell me that this was pit bike and jet ski. So into the bus stop.
He's just going to bide his time.
One last time.
Corners.
Just stroke it home. Don't let the exhaust fall off. Just take your time, Chase. You've got this one in the bag. It was 6.3 seconds on the last lap. He takes a confident look over his shoulder given the conditions in South Bank Bend. He'll take another look on the exit of hairpin 3. Into the last hairpin, last corner. Gently does it now. You can showboat to the line, but don't try and wheelie it. Chase Collymore wins race 2 in the British Mini Bikes Junior SM90 race. Takes the applause of the crowd. And I think there may be a crowd still on the banks, even though it is a bit wet.